Amen. Heidi. Well, welcome, everyone. And we are so happy to have you guys here today. New day with the masters. I tell you, we've been having so much fun on New Day with the Masters. This is the big hub midweek talking to the masters, helping you that are entrepreneurs and business owner jumpstart the rest of your week. We are TDC Vision Center Entrepreneur Ministry, and we are here to help you get excited about what God is doing. So I have with me my co-host, Deborah Glass, which is the director of the Entrepreneur Minister for TDC Vision Center. And she's also the director of Greater Grace Entrepreneur Minister. She's an author, she's a mother. Oh my God. She, she's an inventor, she's a business owner, just all out there doing it all. And I got with me the man of the hour, the man we've been definitely showcasing all this month. This is the fashion industry and also Black History Month. But Mr. Seti, the designer, the man, the writer, the couture designer, you name it,
Easy.
in fashion, it's Mr. Seti. So welcome. And Miss Nisi, what can I say about her? Oh, prophet, clothes designer, out there, business owner, inspirer, encourager. Come on, give her a hand. We thank God for her being here today with us. So we're going to get started because last week we ran over, we had a good time, and we just had fun. We just really had fun. And so Deborah today is going to be giving us on 10 steps on what successful people do, what successful people have to have in their life in order to be able to make that pivot, be able to make that success that they need. All of us are looking for success, but some of us are falling short because we don't know the steps on how to get there. We don't have a mentor on how to get there. You know, these people are on here today are coaches, they're mentors, they're helping you to aspire to that next place that you need to go to. They're not skipping and missing it. These are people who have made it. These are people who have advanced to that next level that you're trying to get to. So we bring them on to help you to get there. So we're going to let Deborah start off with 2 points on what a successful person needs.
Okay, well, I'm excited about this because truly this is how I have gotten to where I'm at by listening to people who have achieved the things that I'm striving to achieve. And one of the things I know is that you do need to have help or mentor or someone that you can really listen to that has done what you're trying to do. So I had to go and start pulling out tapes and YouTube and listening to very successful people. But often what we don't do is we don't sit down and take notes and really look at, okay, here's the steps that you need to take. So today I am going to talk about what Miles Monroe talked about in terms of vision and the 10 things that all successful people go through. Okay. So I'm going to start off with just the two things, but vision is something that we all must have because vision really is what our purpose is. Why did God put us here? What did he put us here to do? That's not a question sometimes we ask ourselves. We just, whatever the job opens up or wherever somebody tells you can go get your job or work is often how it starts. But at some point you have to ask the question, what did God put me here to do? What is my purpose? So purpose is the one thing you want to know. What were you born to do? What did God place you here to do? What comes so natural for you that you're good at, and people always tell you you're good at, it comes so natural to you, you think anybody can do it, but it's really not anybody can do it. That is what's unique about you. That is what he's given you, and that is your gift. But then you still need to know what is the purpose of your gift. What were you born to do? What is it that God had put you here to do? So you have to ask that question. Now, I'm not plugging this right now, but the book Ask God is just because of that. I had to ask God for purpose of my life. What would he have me to do? And there started the journey, but I've just given you the points now. 2 things. You need to know your purpose. The second thing is you need to have passion. You need to be passionate about your purpose because without passion, you're not going to get started. You're not going to be motivated and you're not going to really want to do the things that it's going to require for you to do if God has called you to do something. So you need to know why you're here and you need to know what your purpose is and what the plans are that God has for you. And then you need to be passionate about it. Okay. So those are two things we're going to put out there for right now. Give it back to you, Apostle.
Passion is one of the things that we definitely have to be, because you can't be successful in any business or anything, the endeavor that you're going to do, if you don't have the passion for it. Now let's go to Mr. Seddick, because I know he have passion for fashion. Oh, listen to that.
Fashion, I like that.
Passion for fashion. He's been out here for a long time. He just haven't started. He's been out here a long time. He know the ups and the down of the fashion industry, and he have learned how to pivot in this time. So give us some little points on how you pivot during this time and season in the fashion industry, because right about now, I think the fashion industry is being hit, but I think if you're in that industry, you can pivot. And we got somebody, Nisi, just in this industry and during this pandemic, she came out with her things. So I just want to hear from you guys of how you did in this industry pivoting.
Yeah. We talked on last week, we were talking about how important it was to have a mentor in your life, and not only look at yourself as a mentee, but also seek people that you can mentor, because whether we know it or not, people look up to us for what we do and what our passion is and what our purpose is. And you never know how you affect people just living in your purpose, walking in what you have been put here to do. And we are in such a interesting time right now. And what makes it so interesting to me is the fact that it's not just one area, it's a global situation. This is something that's going to affect the resources that you have in place, particularly with the fashion industry. It's not just how you do your business, but it's everybody else that you do business with. And that has been a huge challenge. And what we've been done was that pause button got hit about a year ago when COVID hit, and people either did one of two things. They went helter skelter about what I'm going to do, or they sat down and grabbed themselves a really good cup of coffee and said, listen, I got to figure this thing out, because stopping is not an option. Failing is not an option. This is something that I got to figure out, because I got to keep on going. But I've got to figure out a way that I've got to do what I do and still maintain that level of professionalism and quality that I'm known for. But I've got to figure out a way to do it. I got to figure out a new way to do this. So just stepping back and figuring out how you can be creative in doing what you've already done, but you've got to do it a new way. And that's what I've been doing. And it's not that we don't have the time to do it. We can't use it as an excuse anymore. We can't say, well, I don't have time, I'm busy, I'm running, no. You at home, figure it out.
Yes.
And make it happen.
You got no place to go, right?
And that's what I've had to do. So to answer your question, I know it's a long answer, but to answer your question, you have to be creative within yourself to continue to do and figure out a new way of doing, and tap into those things that you've always had, all those this is a back burner season. That's what I call it.
Say that again.
The back burner season. All those things that you had simmering in the back that that you were saying, I'm going to get around to it one day, but this is a back burner season. Reach back there, grab those things and bring them to the front.
Yeah.
And figure it out and do it out and do your testing and do your forecasting and try these new things out that you've always wanted to try. So this is a season of back burner. Listen, pull those things off the back burner, bring them to the front.
Back burner season. I'm going to put that down.
So That's
Good advice, Betty.
I like that because you know what? A lot of people and nowadays have those dreams and desires that they have. Deborah and I was talking this morning. We was talking about what is the difference in a dream and a vision, and that dream is the house. I want a house, I want a big car, but those things that you envision that God can put on the inside of you to do, to be able to bring other people along with you, be able to empower them, be able to give them and develop their skills and their talent that God has placed down on the inside. There's a lot of people that know how to. I found out that just about in this season, there are so many home-based businesses that have started in this season,
absolutely.
and so I'm gonna just go on over to Miss Lisa because she started her own in this season that we're in.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do nothing. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Ain't nobody new coming out. We cried, oh, and in this season where they say, I'm popping up and there it is. Oh, I'm going, what? Wait a minute. She done started her own business, t-shirt business in this season.
Amazing.
Come on, tell us how you just not decided to go in that back mode and decided to redo something different what God is calling you to do.
What's interesting is, as far as the clothing is concerned, most people know me as a custom designer,
Yeah.
all kinds of garments, red carpet, all that kind of thing. And so I had gone through a couple things where my fear was really overtaking my faith. Like, I mean, my fear of what's going to happen, what's going to work out, why it didn't work out. It was overtaking it. And, God was like, Niche, what we doing? What we doing? You're going to have fear, you're going to have faith. Which one are you going to do? And so I go ahead and design this t-shirt. I'm not a designer from that standpoint. I'm not a graphic designer. I designed this t-shirt, printed on some shirts and, kind of like, Lord, what are we doing here? But I have learned that that fear that we have, if we trust him and if we follow what it is that he is saying that we are to do, then he will make the path clear. And so it sounds just as crazy to me to be launching a full-on t-shirt brand, urban t-shirt hoodie brand. Not only am I launching it in the middle of a pandemic, but I'm launching an environment that I'm not very familiar with. Now I can make you a skirt. I can promote the skirt. I can get it on the red carpet. Okay. But the urban side of t-shirts and hoodies and things, and this is what I wear every day. So maybe that's why. But I was like, wow, okay, we're in a pandemic. The people saying that people don't have money. People saying you shouldn't be moving, that you should be doing this, you should be doing that. But this is what I believe, and not to go overly deep on the, on the spiritual side of it, but I do believe that there was a remnant of people where God gave us some wisdom and insight in 2019 so that we could be prepared to go ahead and move and navigate in 2020 so that things will be stable. The people that are progressing and are moving and navigating in 2020, it looks like they're doing it just by happenstance, but really there was some obedience that was happening in 2020, amen, in early 2019 or early 2020, so that they could have the means and the measures to launch businesses, to launch a business. And I know Seti knows, and you all know, it costs money.
Yes.
There's some marketing stuff that's involved. So how were people able to navigate and do that in the midst of a pandemic? Well, it's because there was some obedience that took place in the months prior that the people didn't see. They just saw it come out. So I thank God because this has been a journey and it has been one that I love, and it is bigger than what I could have ever imagined. I thought I was just going to sell a few t-shirts to a few friends. That is not the case. So
God don't do little. God don't do little.
No. So that is how it happened. And you just want, when you're in it and you don't know what to do, you have to say, okay, I'm gonna let my faith outweigh the fear, and God, I'm gonna let you tell me what to do with this, because this is what you asked me to do. I'm being obedient, and you're gonna show me, and God has definitely done that. So, sometimes I feel like when we are unsure is when God gets the most glory, because we know that it's a walk with him every day that's guiding us through this process. Even though this is business, we need him to guide us through that process. So that's how it happened.
Yeah, and I think when we listen to God, when we in that place and we can hear God, it's a lot of people just like you that God done told them, okay, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna move? How are you going to move in this season, but they're so focused on what is not happening in this season instead of focusing on what can God do through me in this season. And I think we look at that even with business owners and having a brick and mortar building, and you had to shut down so many times. It's very discouraging to say, okay, to Lisa, okay, we're going to get back up there and we're going to start again, and to pump that life back into that business, because I've seen where several times you had to pump life back in a dead situation, something that the government and everybody else done shut down, and I see how you said, okay, what can I do in this season that I'm not shutting down? I'm not going to put my head in the sand and declare it's over with, but I'm going to make something different happen. You stepped out of your comfort zone. Because you make some beautiful skirts and and things, but you stepped out of your comfort zone and you said, okay, well, since I'm wearing a tee, I might as well let everybody wear my tees. And it's so silly with that, because my nephew started a t-shirt business, and I had already tried to start one about 5 years ago, and because I'm not traveling around anymore, I stopped doing the t-shirts, and I'm going, what is you doing? You're not doing t-shirts, and this is the time that people need the prayer hoodies, because that's what I was doing. I was doing prayer hoodies, and just saying, you can pray any place at any time. And so the thing is, I'm going to get my prayer hoodies back up. Mr. Said is going to help me get my prayer hoodies back up so we can do our prayer hoodies and pray, amen, until something happens. We just got to keep praying and connecting. And I think the whole thing is, in this season that we're in, is not being a lone ranger. Is you're going through this thing, but we don't have to be a lone ranger. And because somebody else is in a certain type of business, you don't have to shut down, you don't have to close and say, you know what, McDonald's, I've seen McDonald's, Burger King, Hardee's, Wendy's, all on the same street. Do they worry about each other being on the same? They do not worry about anybody being on the same street. You're going to have it your way, or you're going to do it this way, bop, 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 in the morning time, whatever you want to do, your customers is going to come to you. I remember one night we was driving, and we were both, a friend of mine, we was both hungry, and she said, well, okay, let's go to McDonald's, because this one is not as crowded. We went there, and because of the pandemic, it was wrapped around the whole corner. We said, okay, we're going to run up the street. We went up the street to the other one. It's 3 McDonald's on one street, one long street, 3 McDonald's. We went to all 3 of them, and they all were crowded. Guess what? We decided, well, Wendy's is not as crowded. So I'm going to go shop at Wendy's. We went through Wendy's drive-through and got through there quick. And we passed by the 3 McDonald's. We said, man, we'd have still been standing there trying to get a hamburger, trying to get something to eat. So I'm telling you, people like different varieties. I didn't want a Wendy's that night, but I took a Wendy's because guess what? I was hungry. Somebody may see something on Seti's or Nisi's site or my site or my nephew's site or someone else's site and see something totally different and make them say, oh, and this season I have been buying so many t-shirts. I'm telling you, I have been buying. I don't buy t-shirts. I don't literally wear t-shirts, but guess what? I'm a t-shirt girl. I've been wearing nothing but t-shirts since last year. I've been wearing t-shirts. I'll dress it up, put a little something on it and dress it up. So coming to that dress up part, Deborah brought some jewelry today.
Just for you, Seti.
Just for Seti. She brought some jewelry and I bought some scarves. My scarves are too big scarves, but anyway, I bought some scarves.
I was in the bushes, as they say.
Huh?
They said anyway,
I said I was in the bushes, as they say. I saw a little preview.
Oh, okay.
That's right. He did.
Stuff on you. Because after I put it on, I said, Seti probably gonna say, but I think you'll like this piece. What do you think about this piece, Seti? No? Did you like the other one better?
Okay. Wait a minute.
Okay, wait a minute.
He said he waiting a minute on that one.
But let me pull the other one out, because that's what.
No.
No?
No. Let me see what it looks like.
Okay.
You know what? A piece like that. Okay. A piece like that, I would do that with the most simplest,
Black
easiest, simple black knit dress with nothing doing nothing. Because it's all about that necklace. Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
Even the
like
earrings, I would just do a simple little stud, just a simple little stud, and have that right there be
that for my super black
everything.
dress.
Because that's what it is. With that at all. You don't have to compete with that. Yeah.
Okay. Thank
You say so you
No,
don't need to do all that.
And I have one more. I love
Let me
this.
tell you something else I would do with that piece.
What?
I would take that piece and rock me a white t-shirt with a blue jean jacket.
This?
No. The first one that you had. Yeah.
The first one. That's the one.
Why
I
not?
asked. This one?
Why-
This one? That's the first one.
Oh, what are those, like Cory shells?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
What
love it.
do with this?
I absolutely love that.
He just said a jean
Oh, that's
jacket.
beautiful.
Jeans?
Yeah. I would do that with a simple t-shirt.
Okay.
I grab one of Nietzsche's tees.
Okay. All right, Nietzsche.
And throw me a blue jean jacket on, flip the collar, and put that necklace on, and a funky pair of Chucks, and keep it moving. Going on down there to the Eastern Market and do your thing and be cute.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Just, just be cute.
And just be cute for no reason.
Okay.
Just be cute for no reason at all. I like it.
And you know what? Sometimes I get out of the bed and I physically do not want to be a part of the world. Okay.
Like, count me in on that one.
But I make an effort to get up and make myself look like I want to feel.
Yes.
And it works every single time.
Well, that's
it works every single time.
For me, really, because when you came on, I was just throwing anything on, and I was wearing the same stuff. Oh, because I don't have to go nowhere, so I was wearing some same stuff. And
Absolutely.
you know what? Now I can do better than this, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I started playing with the scarves, I started putting outfits together. So I'm really starting to get back into, fixing myself up and not walking around like I don't have.
Yeah, I think
that's the greatest thing that you can do. I mean, you play dress up. I mean, that's the most gratifying thing that you can do for yourself is to just play with fashion. Don't take fashion. I've always said for years, I mean, don't take fashion so serious. Like fashion should be fun. These are things that you put on and you take off and you experiment and you try new things. And if you see a look or a silhouette that you like, you don't necessarily have to fill your wardrobe with it. Get that one piece, add it, try it, wear it to the mall, see what kind of reaction you get, see how it makes you, if it makes you feel good or whatever, try it, rock it. It ain't that deep. It really ain't.
Well, I want to get back to what Nietzsche said about her experience in terms of God showing her something that she should be doing at this time.
Yes, so I have tons of questions for you, Nietzsche.
Yeah, so she fits right into the next thing is you need a plan, okay? Because you've already got a purpose that he's gonna show it to you, okay? And usually when God gives you something, it's not something that you really know real well. You have to depend on him because it's not something you can go to that you go, oh, I know this, I got this, I do this in my sleep. No, you may have some parts of it, but there's another big part of it that you don't have a clue. If God don't help you, you're not gonna be able to do this, right? It's so big, okay? So that's how you're walking in purpose now, okay? And now your passion is there because you're excited about this, but the fear is also there as well, right? So you did the right thing. You said, okay, I got faith on one hand, fear on the other, which I'm gonna listen to. I'm gonna step out on faith, right? And so that's the stage that you're at, okay? Because you're gonna go through these stages. This is what 10 things successful people do. So you're already 2 of them, okay? and it talks about passion that if you're satisfied with where you're at, you will never go to where you're supposed to be.
Wow.
Ooh, say that again.
If you are satisfied with where you're at, you will never get to go to where you were supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
therefore, it's good that you're uncomfortable, okay? That you don't really have it all together. You can't plan this thing out. You're gonna need the help of the Lord, but you do need a plan. So when God gives you your plan, you must write it out.
Mhm.
So I will share with you. You're at I'll show you some of my boards back when I first got started with my journey. But all I had, I don't know if you can see this, is this whiteboard with typing out what the vision was and how he gave it to me as to what I would do with what he gave me. That's as simple as it was. Okay.
Yeah.
You have some ideas in your head, and it just needs to be typed out and placed on the board. Because what's going to happen is you'll see as you go through the journey, these are other things that's going to come up that you're going to see happen. So your plan is that you do the vision board, write it out, make it plain, as much as you understand it to be. Okay. And then the fourth thing is people that you need, the right people will come and help you. Don't try to figure it all out in the beginning as to how I'm going to provide for this, where I'm going to get the money for this, how I'm going to make this happen. You don't have to worry about that. The right people will come at that stage to help you on that period. Don't mean that they're going to be with you forever. Don't mean that they're going to be with you to the end. Just for that time, he will send you the right people. Okay. So we're on 4. Now take it away, Apostle Washington, because those are the tips for right now.
You know, having a purpose is one of the things that, the Bible tells us without a vision, the people perish. And so our God-given purpose on this earth is to increase and to multiply and produce. We are to produce. We are to be producers in the earth today. So if we're not doing what God has given us to do, have empowered us to do, and the gifts and the talents that He's given us to do, then we're actually not obeying God. We're not obeying our Maker, and we're not walking in the gifts and the purpose of our life. Everybody has a purpose.
Yeah.
And guess what? Everybody has a gift. A lot of people say, "Oh, I ain't got no gift." Oh, everybody have a gift. I may not be able to sew no beautiful skirt like Nisa can sew beautiful skirts. I may not be able to do that, and the beautiful flowing dresses. I mean, her dresses make you look like, oh, wow, hey. No, I'm the queen of the hour and stuff, and the skirts and everything. So I may not have that talent, but God may have given me a voice to sing or someone to be a speaker or something like that. Or I can design a pair of shoes or whatever your thing is. Just because God gave it to her, it doesn't mean that your gift that He gave to you will not excel too. And we have to realize. So I want you guys to talk to somebody out there that are really, have a talent, but just don't trust or believe in themselves that they have the ability to move forward and do what God has given them to do.
Yeah. And encourage them. I
Yeah.
mean, the best thing that you can do is encourage somebody to tap into their own purpose. And I Nietzsche, I have been watching you for the last 15 years. Easy, 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 the last 15 years. So I've watched you change and switch and add and adjust, and it's been awesome. And I'm gonna tell you something. He will put someone in your life that you necessarily won't really need until 15 to 20 years later. That's how it works. And I tell students, if I'm talking to a group of young people, I tell them all the time, you can think of something, and the only way that you can start that engine going is to say yes to yourself. Right. 5 seconds on the other side of yes is victory. I promise you that. because we spend so much time figuring out, is it the right time? Is it the right place? Do I have enough money? Do I have everything in place? You go through all of these self analogy things and reasons why you shouldn't do it. But the hardest thing to do is to simply say, okay, yep, I'm going to do it. It doesn't feel right. My circumstances doesn't support this. But 10 seconds on the other side of yes, that's when it starts to happen. Because a t-shirt business, I would have never thought. I mean, Nietzsche, I know what she do. She's in front of the camera. She's doing a thing, and she does it well. She's amazing. But a t-shirt business,
that's what God takes, right?
But guess what?
Yes.
A t-shirt business. I used to tell my children when they were young, I was like, look, everything that you see, look around the room, look around your neighborhood, look around your city. Every single thing that you can visually look at is a business.
Yes.
And my daughter, when she was 8 years old, asked me for a pair of $90 Nikes. And I told her, you have lost your whole mind. If you think I'm gonna buy you a pair of $90 shoes and you're 8 years old. So she used to hang out with me when I go and shop for my materials and things. And we were in a craft show, real store show. We were in a craft store. And I gave she and my son $10. And I said, look, go buy something, figure out what you want to do with it. And I'm going to help you create something. And that's what they did. And they came up with these little bracelets that she made a set of 2, and they called it their buddy bracelet. And they sold tons of these things. And when she made enough money to buy those shoes, she decided that she didn't really want the Nikes after all. Because it was her money. Now she want the Nikes. So, but my point is, everything is a business. God gives you these things, and it's just a matter of making that choice, figuring it out. And he doesn't give you these visions without putting somebody in place in your life, in your path, to support it.
That's right.
Because there's nothing that you couldn't call me for, Nietzsche, and I wouldn't support you in it. If you call me, I'm gonna say, look, Seti, I need a manufacturer. I need a resource for thread. I need a resource for screen printing. I need, that's one phone call for me.
Wow.
One.
Wow.
Easy. Done.
Wow. I might need to be talking to Seti for my problem. You don't call.
We just got the hookup.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time, and the one thing that I believe in, I live by this. I recycle my blessings, and I think we talked about this last week. A closed hand does not get blessed. It's a cycle, man. When I get blessed, I take it out of this hand and give it to somebody else, and I recycle my blessings. That's why my cycle of blessings and favor is always turning. It's always coming. Because as soon as I get it, I give it. I recycle it.
Hey.
It works.
You made a good point there, Seti. I remember looking online and seeing some of your garments, and I was like, I think at that time I couldn't afford to purchase nothing. Okay. But I remember looking and be like, oh my gosh, like the flow that was on your garments and the way you were piecing them together. And I just liked the energy. And I remember looking at those and I was like, dang, he is dope. And so, what you said about the recycling of the blessings, it is, I do believe that is, again, I talk about the remnant of people that have a layer of obedience prior to what the rest of the outside world sees.
That's right.
That other remnant is that recycled blessing, the lack of stinginess, the things that we do behind the scenes that we never discuss, that nobody ever sees, the heart of purity, not that we are at all perfect, but the desire to please God with our life, to rectify situations, to resolve, that all spins out into your business. It will cause you to run into an appropriate person at the store that is going to buy something from you that has a cousin that wants 10 more,
Yeah.
you know? And so it is that layer of making sure that your heart and that your mind is sound as a Christ follower. I think, you know, you mentioned about the planning, and it is definitely a conversation that you have to have where you have to say, okay, so right now I'm saying, what am I going to put out what am I going to promote this weekend? I'm just not like aimlessly putting out a certain color t-shirt. What am I going to promote this weekend? What's the climate of the people this weekend? I'm looking at what days of the week people purchase most, and understanding how I need to structure my day. And that along with asking God, I think you guys mentioned about God sending a person. I ask God because God knows that my thought about trusting someone with my private stuff, Seti, we talking about our patterns that we worked hard on to put together. Okay, our patterns, where we source our thread, our fabric, you know, how we lay things out, our distribution list, letting someone into that space. I had to sit down and talk to God like he was sitting on my bedside and say, I need help.
Right.
You know, I have a concern here, and I need you to send me somebody who I can trust. And he sent me the most unsuspecting person for an assistant. Like me and her would never even like be in the same circle, but she's so dope and she got my back. And then a person to help me on some other things. And they have just the same zeal and excitement that I have for my brand, which is what I'm sure, Seti, you can probably say I've done for other people. And I would say to God, I need you to send a me for me, because for other people's brand and their business, I have got behind them, kept their secrets. Even though I'm on television myself, when it's time for them to be on TV, I am Nietzsche the assistant, you know, so I sat in the background, you know, keep their business private when they get my full attention when I call, you know, and I said, God, I need you to send me a me for me. I need a person like me, because I'm a vault. You tell me something, I'm keeping it. And when I see you out and about, don't nobody even know we cool like that, you know, until you say it. And so I keep good relationships. I keep people's business to myself. And so that planning part is definitely necessary. We need to look at on the natural side. Seti, I know you can agree with this. We are looking at, okay, what's happening in the month of March and what could our potential client want or not want? What's going on in April? Okay, is there Mother's Day? Is there Father's Day? Is spending gonna be down because they don't have income tax return checks? We are planning, as you mentioned, there is a plan. Family, it looked like we just popping up with stuff. Okay, but there's a plan, because we got to purchase shipping supplies. We got to plan for how long those shipping supplies gonna take to get to us. We got to plan for how long it's gonna take us to ship stuff out. And then when can we get to the post office, get a post office pickup? All of those things we're thinking about. And Seti, I appreciate you, you know, because you're right. I do know that if I called you and asked you for some information on a manufacturer thread, that you would do it. So expect a call from me, because I feel that is my push to go ahead and do something else. Okay.
She got it. It's already in your spirit.
Right, that's a little push. I hear you, Lord. That's a little push for me to go ahead and step into another area here. You know, expand a little bit.
Let's do it.
That's what we're supposed to be.
I'm serious.
This is something that I created. I mean, I'm not known for t-shirts, but I've added a whole
he's not
to my collection. I've added a whole new division niche. I've added a whole new t-shirt division. I asked somebody, I went to somebody and I said, listen, I want you to design me this. I usually do t-shirts and sweatshirts for promotional purposes. And I went to this graphic designer, real good friend of mine. We've been doing this, having business together for years. And I went to him and he was just too busy. Well, the Leo person I am, I'm very impatient when I want something. I want it. I'll be nice about it when I ask. But if you don't give it to me, I'm going to figure out how to get it myself. So I literally did my research and I said, listen, what's involved in this whole t-shirt graphic business? What do I need to do? So I did my research and I just literally put the people in place, added the equipment that I needed to have in place to produce what I wanted. And that's what I did. And I'm telling you, it's been just like you. It's been something that at the beginning of the day, I'm a businessman, and I say this all the time.
Bottom line.
At the beginning of the day,
Yes.
I am a business man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a businessman.
End of the day.
like sweet
Okay.
pie.
So if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense to me.
No sense.
Before we get into all of that before we get into all that, I'm a businessman.
Amen.
I worked in corporate America for almost 30 years. I know what it's all about.
And
So,
what you're saying, Steady, about how you went ahead and navigated it yourself, I think we could both say, or all of us on here can say at some point, we kind of leaned on the support of someone else. And if they fail and don't come through, I can't let you jack up my business.
No.
So if you're not moving in the mode I need you to,
No.
then yeah, I got to find
the
something else.
perpetrators come first, though. You know.
Yeah.
And to make you afraid to move forward, and then the real deal comes, right?
Yeah.
I'm learning that so much in life, that the perpetrators do come first, and you know what, and then God give us the discernment to test those. He said to learn those that labor with you, and we have to go through that to really learn the ones that is working with us. And I know it's somebody out there that's going, oh, but you got to be so familiar with God and have a relationship with God. You know what? You may start off with that person that it's like Mr. Deborah said, everybody that started out with you is not going to go to the end with you. They may start off with you, but hey, you will find out their spirit is not right. You will find out the ones that's laboring with you don't have the passion that you have. Some people will come along with you and they're jealous of you. So you have to really discern whether they're jealous with you or they down with you. You can tell those people that are in your corner that is pushing and not jealous for you, and then you'll be able to help them pull that talent out of them that they need to get to where they want to go to. But you got those.
Right. That's right. I mean, because it's I think that's one thing I had to become comfortable with, was the fact that there are some people who were not going to be with me from now until Jesus come. And that initially is a difficult thing to accept if you are not able to have a conversation. And I think that we would all agree that being able to have those conversations with a mentor or a friend that is in the same environment or the same business helps you to kind of
absolutely
process some of those things. And that's something that I've definitely learned, and I've learned to appreciate those business mentor friend relationships that I have, where what I say, I don't have to say, girl, don't say nothing, or man, don't say. It's automatic when we talk. It's in confidence, and it's respected. But to be able to have those conversations and recognize that some people, it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean that you lost. It doesn't mean that they're horrible. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that they are there for a season. And we say that cliche that some people are in your life for a season because it sounds good to say when somebody get on your nerves, but it really is a true fact. Because I don't want to come into this business with kindergarten skills and still be at kindergarten skills 3 years later, because I'm afraid to open myself up to some other people or other opportunities. At this stage of the game, Neat should not be sewing like a beginner, simply because I don't have any additional resources or people around me. I should be creating garments that are of a certain caliber and learning. And I cannot do that if I am stuck with just trying to hold on to someone, just to be holding on to them. Now, there are some people who are going to have longevity with us. And then there's some that are not. And I had to learn to be okay with that.
They will, you don't even have to get rid of them.
They will navigate on themselves.
They will fall off. You don't have to leave them. They will leave you.
That's right. That's right.
I will have people leave you. Okay.
Yeah.
I always say, if you take them away, don't go dragging them back in. Okay.
Right.
No.
There's a reason why that person, and it doesn't mean that they're bad people. Don't mean that there's something wrong with them. My daughter-in-law was my right arm all the way up through my manufacturing of my product. I invented that product for her. Hair extensions, no sew, no glue, no clips, because she was tearing her hair out of her head, wearing all that stuff. And I invented that product for her. She grew all of her hair back. I put that product out, got it patent and everything. And I tell that story to the point where every time I would tell it, I think people started feeling like it was her product. But God gave me the invention, and he gave her the wisdom that's to help me how to manufacture the product. Right up to the point where it came to manufacturing, I just knew she would be there. She got in a bad car accident. And for a whole year and a half, I had no assistant, no help. And God was letting me and her both know, I'm your partner that will never leave you nor forsake you. So don't get so comfortable that you depend on anybody else like that but him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't say who that person is. You know, you don't know the plan that God has for you. And Nietzsche, when you said something earlier, it's always that you got to remember this. God has called us who we are before we become it.
Yes.
He calls you who you are after you become it. We
Yes.
think that we're discovering something that God hasn't already put in place. All we just got to do is walk in obedience to what he has for us. Once we walk in obedience and line up with the vision he has for us, he's got the whole plan for us. We just got to learn how to trust that. And when you said that the sacrifices that he prepares you to make, when, you know, like they say, when people go in this way, you go the opposite way, you just don't go doing what everybody else is doing. So the sacrifices that were made, like you say, were years in the forefront. I can remember when I didn't buy a new car. I still don't have a new car. And I worked for Ford Credit. I can get a car if I couldn't get nothing else. You understand? I worked at 30 years. I've been retired 19 years and been getting a pension from Ford Credit. I can buy a car anytime I want to. God led me to get out of debt. Don't be in debt. Don't have all these extra bills and things so that you can stay focused on funding your business. You know, they say build your business, then your business will build your house. So a lot of the things we haven't been taught the way we think in terms of business. Yes, you're going to have to pay for these things or fund it or get money, but God will make provisions for the vision if you are obedient to hear the plan. Okay. I mean, to get out of debt and then turn around and get yourself right back in debt, buying a bunch of foolishness when that money may be needed to get your manufacturing company going or get something else done. So I just want I want to go through the next 2 steps. You've already hit on them, but we'll just go again. Purpose, passion, a plan. The other is people. We just talked about that. And here you two are talking about maybe even connecting. See, God had this all planned. And you know what's so funny is that Apostle Washington is the connector. That is really how God uses her. I didn't even know her in 2017. Nietzsche and I go to the same church. Okay. I am the director of the Entrepreneurs Ministry. I have never had to talk with this lady. Never had to talk with her. How ironic is that? And it takes Apostle Washington to connect this to where hopefully we can build a relationship, because I don't see why we shouldn't be working together myself after you think about it. When that's the passion, that's the purpose that God has given me, the ministry. I know I could be of help to you, you know, but I get that, you know, God has to show you that, you know, but I often wondered about that, you know, because I just think that God has a way of connecting people for the purpose and the plan that he has. That's my passion, is to help help other people down the road with whatever I can do to help them with their business. So the people he's already given you, Nietzsche, you just have to listen for who he has, okay?
Absolutely.
The next thing is patient. Whenever God calls us to do something, we have the ability already to do it. He wouldn't call us to do it if we didn't have the ability to do it, okay? So no matter what your age is, no matter what all the things that we try to put in your mind as to why this won't work, yes, it will, if you just continue down that path of those steps. But have patience with it, because it doesn't come overnight. And the 6th thing is that provision. God will never give you a vision and not make provisions for that vision. So you don't have to worry about how it's going to happen.
That's right.
Okay? God has already made the world ready for what he has for you. The world is waiting. It is waiting, because God is about kingdom building. So when God gives you something, he don't do little. That's why if you're doing little, that's not him. That's you. Okay. It has to be so big that only God can make that happen. That's how you get the glory. When people see your story and when they see what's done, they go, girl, I don't know how that happened. That's God. Okay. That's God. If they're giving you the glory, then that's not God. It's got to be so to the point when they see it, they like, ain't no way that could happen except for God did that. That's how he gets the glory. So the provision, don't worry about it. It's already made. It was made in the end because he already knew the beginning.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about that. Just the next thing, whatever the next thing is for you, just do that next thing. Just always ask yourself, what is the next thing I can be doing? Don't focus on
Right.
what you can't be doing. What is the next thing I can be doing? Is it getting your books in order? Is it getting your finances in order? Is it getting organization? I mean, you might think those things aren't important, but once the work comes and all that comes, you won't have time to get that stuff in order. So pay attention to the small details of the things that he's saying to you. And when you ask yourself, well, what else should I be doing? He take you right back to the same thing. That's because you ain't did it. That's why he keeps bringing it back to you, because that has not been done. Focus on that next thing. Okay.
Mm. So we're almost at the end. So we're just going to give a takeaway. We want everybody on the panel to just give a takeaway that you can do and say to the people out there that are really struggling to try to go on. And some of those who are struggling actually in their business just don't know what next thing to do. Me personally, I think we hit on it a little. I think everyone that's in business, whether it's a pastor or whether you literally in the fashion industry, hair industry, or whatever, I think we need a mentor. Think we need somebody who have been there, done that, and not somebody who's trying on the same level that you are, but somebody who's done scale, that industry and there and doing in that industry. And a lot of times we think, oh, they won't say nothing to me. Oh, they too high up to reach, and stuff. And a friend of mine, she's in the hair industry, and she literally went to a Dr. Dudley shows. And at the end, actually bought a book, and she said, okay, everybody's in line. Just wait till everybody get through, and I'll be the last one. So she was the last one to go up there. And she said, Dr. Dudley said, well, what do you want? He said, what do I want? I'm buying the book. No, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
Come on. All those hundreds of people that was in the line, he didn't have a conversation with them about what do they want. But when she was the last one, he asked her, what do you want? And put his personal phone number in her book. Come on, you're only one person away from that successful person or that person that was mentor you. The same thing with me. Years ago, I was sitting on the plane with Bill, and this little puny white guy was sitting there, and he gonna tell me he got this invention and he needs $1,000. He just needs 10 more people for $1,000. I'm going, Bill, oh, I don't know about no Bill Gates. I don't know about you. You ain't get my money. And I had the money. And then when I saw all this information about him on TV and the newspaper, I go and pull out my little card that he had gave me. Baby, he had made the money, so he disconnected that card, that number. That number was no more. But I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? If I had just had conversation with him, I didn't know who he was. But if I had just had the conversation and got a little bit more information and said, okay, I do have 1,000, but give me some more information. I could have had that information, but I could have been a multi-millionaire now investing in that years ago. Sometimes we miss our opportunity by looking at who it is or the way that it's packaged or the way that it comes. Don't miss your opportunity today. You got these people on here today. Text them. I'm going to let you give y'all information out. Text them, email them, inbox them. Ask them questions. They're ready to take you to where you need to go. Come on, you guys. But don't sit back there and have an idea or want to do something and don't ask anyone. Don't step forward to it. They're here to help you, pray with you, talk to you. I'm going to tell you, Nisi called me one day at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock. Was it 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock?
It was early.
It was early. I was asleep. And she said, look, I know we don't have it like that, but I'm being obedient this morning. And she was so obedient to the T. She told me exactly where my brother was. And my brother was in New York City, had dementia and was away from the home. And he had been gone for 2 days. And we was having a fit on where he was at. This girl gave me to the T how he was going to be found and where he was going to be found at. My nephew called me. Look, this wasn't no 5 years later. This was 35 minutes. I will never forget that. 35 minutes. Wasn't no hour. 35 minutes later, after she hung the phone up, my nephew called and said, Aunt Didi, we done found Daddy. And I started saying, okay, did you find him here? Yeah. Okay, did you find this? Yeah. I said, okay, I just got a call saying that this is what was going to happen. Listen, you want somebody like that in your corner. You want somebody praying with you, talking with you, and encouraging you. Not somebody who's missing God, but somebody who's have a prayer life and listen to God. If she can listen to God for her own life, she can listen to God for your life. Come on now. Okay. I'm telling you, I remember SETI. I'm just going back down memory lane. I'm just remembering SETI when we was some women coming together. We had started this organization called Warm Chatter. We called SETI over and we said, we want to design some sportswear. SETI said, oh no, y'all need sportswear. Y'all need nightgowns and stuff like that. You need, so he developed us a whole line of clothing for Warm Chatter. I'm telling you, our first night, we sold out of all those things that we had.
Wow.
I'm telling you, God has people who are ready to take you to that next place that you need to go to. Don't think that we're just doing this and we're not here to help you and we're not here to be a part of what God is doing in your life. These are people who are praying people. They're not people just out there. They're successful because of their prayer life and their relationship that they have with the Lord. Come on, you guys. Yeah. And they have missed it. They have had some backstabbers. They have had all of that you're going through. They have been through it. Come on. And thanking God for every part of it because it has been a part where it has helped them move to that next place. So I'm gonna let you guys give a takeaway. Yeah. What y'all can, make sure you give them your email, your Facebook, your everything on how to contact you. Okay.
One of the things that I've always said was, and I just put this out on Instagram. One of the sweatshirts or t-shirts that I just developed says simply this. It says 80% of the things that you do not have is directly connected to what you haven't asked for.
Mm-hmm. Oh my 80%, goodness.
80% of the things that you don't have are simply the things that you haven't asked for. Period. So attracting the right people into your life and just simply asking for what you want is absolutely key. Because one of the things that Nietzsche said earlier was connected to the fact that everybody that's gonna ride with you are not big enough to ride with you.
Come on.
Okay. You can't be big and little. You got to choose one. You cannot be big or little. You got to choose one. And everybody that is put in your path is there for a very specific reason. And they're not supposed to ride with you the entire ride. They're not. They're just not. They're not there to do that. And be okay with it because everybody is not big enough to ride with you. A lion should never lose sleep over the opinion of a sheep.
Thank you.
Whoa, say that one again. Say that one again. That's a t-shirt right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that one to you, Nietzsche. A lion should never lose sleep over the opinion of a sheep.
Woo!
Like that.
That's a t-shirt.
All right, Nietzsche, you can sell out on that one.
I won't buy it. I won't do. I won't do.
I'm not even a t-shirt person, but I will wear that.
So me and Nietzsche have a conversation.
Yeah, we gonna get together
because I got two phone numbers that I want to give you. That is going to, and I'm gonna sow this seed into your life. Two phone numbers. I'm gonna give them to you. I'm gonna give them to you, and I'm gonna go.
Look, hey, remember me when you come into thy kingdom.
My God. Oh my God. That's what it's
Remember
about,
me when
man.
you come into thy kingdom, young lady.
Wow.
Never know how he can
Wow.
work it out, do you? You never know how.
Wow. That's that awesome God. That's that awesome God we serve, Seti. I'm grateful. I am truly grateful. You've always been amazing, and I'm grateful. And you asked about a takeaway. I would say one is build proper relationships, is what you've mentioned. Number two, the thing that I've learned through this process is honestly, what's the worst that can happen? And our worry about how this is going to all pan out. Worry is a down payment on something that might not ever even happen.
Girl, now that's a t-shirt, that too.
No,
There's another t-shirt I'll buy.
it is. I've learned that over and over again, that I will put worry, I've worried, and that's why I had to build the t-shirt brand, No Fear, All Faith, because I was like, you is like really tripping. Do you recognize the God that you serve? And so I think that also being very clear on who God is. He is not some small man around the corner that only got $5, and once he give it to one person, he don't have nothing left for you.
Nope.
He is a God where resources are endless. Provision is endless. Opportunity is endless. And even in this season, what the Lord was showing us as far as what we're doing is that he's going to allow a lot of us to skip the line. It doesn't matter where you're standing at in the line, where you're standing at in position right now. God is going to allow you to skip the line, and the numbers and the seeds that people are going to sow in this season. There was a time where when they sowed a seed and gave you a $50 or 150, you were grateful, and that was awesome. But now the seeds that are going to be sown have commas and zeros that follow them. They are in the multiple digits of what we're going to see. That remnant of people who walked in obedience, who listened and prepared, who did what they were supposed to do, who sold like they were supposed to. There is a remnant, even in your business, where God is going to allow you to skip the line with your business credit that you don't even have yet. You think you have to go through 6 months of building and getting a small account here with a small company that's $50, $60 and build that. He's going to allow you to skip the line, get the financing and the resources so that you can have what you need so you can produce what you need and do so quickly. And the people are gonna be like, how in the world? Well, that's God's provision. That's all I can tell you. All I can tell you is that somehow God did it. That is all I know, is that somehow God did it. That's all I know. I can't tell you what 1 + 1 is, or what 2 + 3, or how it all happens. All I can tell you is that somehow
Jesus Christ,
God did it. So the statement that you made about, I have to keep my composure at this moment, let me calm down. So the statement that you made about connecting, making sure that you are connecting to God and what it is that he has said, and not just what he has said, but what is he saying right now? What is he saying? Not just what he said, but what is he saying right now to do that connection so that you can move about the cabin freely. I'm telling you, I saw the $10,000 on February 4th. I saw that number of the money that was being released to people. And I've gotten 3 phone calls so far of the provision in the amount of $10,000 in financing and in check that has been made. What's the expectation of God on our business? Is there an expectation? Because we don't think that God can make us as Christ followers multimillionaires. And for some of us this year, where we need to be 100,000-aires, 6-digit in heirs this year, we don't really think that God can do that. But this year, 2021, by the end of June, there are some people who are going to have already accumulated $100,000 in business.
Amen.
And I received that.
It takes him no time. So that is what I believe with you. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, don't apologize. Don't apologize for.
Look, that's what I was waiting for, because I had already heard the testimony of Apostle Washington about you. Now that's funny, because when she said the name, I was like, who? And she mentioned it again. I said, she, you say her name is Nietzsche. Is she at Greater Grace? I'm like, she was able to prophesy that to you? Man, I'm glad to hear the gift. I've never seen it. So, I mean, again, let God use your gifts and talents. Don't be, don't be afraid of who the people are. First of all, a lot of times the devil will put false truths in your mind about a person. You don't even know what that person is about. You're hearing it second and third. You understand what I'm saying? Third dairy, because you don't know the person. So you're getting somebody else's information about the person. And those might be the very two people God is trying to put together to do what he's trying to do. But if I got this thought of this person over here and that thought of that person over there, there's no coming together. So all I'm saying is when you talk about who you can trust or who God has for you, you got to be listening for that, because a lot of times, again, Nietzsche is right there, Greater Grace. I've never had any connections with her. And that's somebody as an entrepreneur's ministry that I would need. I have fought so hard in that church all by myself in that ministry. You have no idea the demons that have come after me in that church over being in the entrepreneur's ministry. But here he has somebody right there that could be the very one that could make that ministry blow up, So all I'm saying is that you don't know who he has. And to go back to what you all were saying about quit going to small-minded people, Oprah said this, and I remember this story. It was really profound. Now, this is a takeaway. Oprah was saying how when she got big, she kept going back to her mother, asking her mother, why didn't you do this for me? Why weren't you there for me? Why weren't you? Just trying to pull on her mother to get from her mother what she felt she didn't get as a child from her mother. And finally, it came to her, and I don't know how it came to her, that she realized, here I am a gallon going to a pint asking you to fill me.
Incapable.
She's pulling from somebody who doesn't even have what she has, trying to take from her to fill her empty cup, when this person here is a pint and here you are the gallon.
Wow.
So we have to realize that, our takeaway is that God already has the people for you.
Yeah.
You said it, Nietzsche, walk in obedience, and don't let other people identify or dictate to you as to who God has for you to help you, because you don't know where that's going to come from.
Yeah. Wow.
Pastor Washington helped me get my store when my other store fell apart, and I didn't even know her that well, and I hadn't even sown into her ministry, okay? And I got this store. I'll show you the picture of it, which is part of the vision that God gave to me. This is the store. This is the inside of it. And Seti, I'm gonna need to talk to you about this because this is the manufacturing company now that we're working on.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I'm saying to you, through her, I was able to get my book done. I didn't even know her. This came through one person.
Wait, no, Nietzsche book.
But what I'm showing you is that one person I didn't even know in 2016. All this has happened since 2017 through meeting one person. The vision was given to me in 2010. I've been working on it ever since. You follow me? So you don't know who God has for you. You just have to be open to receive whoever that is he wants to use. Because he knows our heart. Amen.
Amen.
Woo! This has been an awesome day. And it's time for us to go, you guys.
Amen.
I know we can continue on with this and stuff. We're going to have to just bring them back. Amen. To do. But I do want Nisi to give you the website and everything, and so everybody can know how to get our t-shirts.
Well, so the one I have on is a green one. It's a No Fear t-shirt. And then in my lap, I have a hoodie also. And so these are in a couple different colors, and you can either go to my website, www.nietzsche.com, just like my name is showing up on the screen, or the actual brand name is bigdripthreads.com, BIG dripthreads.com, www.bigdripthreads.com. On all social media, everything is the same for me, NEECHY. If you forgot the web address, you can inbox me. I respond very consistently. And then I also have consultations on my website for people who sometimes I learned that sometimes people just want to be able to have a conversation and kind of talk through what it is that they're trying to do so that they can kind of figure out what they need to do. So you can go to my website, book a consultation. Some of them are free. Some of them are paid. You get to choose. There's no force or anything like that. But I have conversations with people all the time who are looking to start business. They say, Nietzsche, can I just sit down with you for 30 minutes and just kind of talk through what I'm doing? And the answer is yes, because I wish that I had that when I started. So Nietzsche.com, bigdripthreads.com, or inbox me on any social media. I'll be happy to chat with you.
Awesome.
All right, Mr. City, let them know how to get in touch with you.
Well, of course, the easiest way to do it is through that whole multimedia thread. And on Instagram, I'm SETI Collection DC, CEDI, just like my first name on the screen. Collection DC. Facebook, I'm just SETI Johnson. In terms of the phone number, anybody in Detroit that has known me for any length of time, my phone number is still the same. I got a 30-year-old phone number and still. So
It's still
all
the same.
phone numbers that I do have, my New York line and my DC line, the Detroit line is the oldest and the longest, and it still works. So call one person that know me and they will give you my phone number. But
Yeah.
other than that, always get in touch with me. I am I'm very attentive to my my website is www.setiatelier.com. That's ATLIER.com. Setiatelier.com. Yeah.
All right, Deborah, X God book.
Yes, ask God. That's who you need to ask. And it is a red ink pen. Well, let me go through it just quickly. It is you asking God for whatever your concerns are. It's dated, you ask, and you write it in black. But when God gives you the answer, you return back to that in red and write the answer that he gives you. Okay, real simple. And I have books and books of that. But the way you can order the book is that you can go to www.Deborah, DEBORAH, Glass, GLASS, Enterprises, ENTERPRISES.com. Or you can call 888-816-8702.
All righty. Well, I tell you, I have enjoyed my guests. I appreciate them so much for taking time out of their busy schedule to be a part of this Biz Hub Master Zoom call that we have. You know what? It has been a pleasure talking to you guys. I'm excited about what God is doing in your life. I'm excited about being a part of your life. Amen. And anything that I can do, Deborah can do to help advance anything that you're doing, just let us know. We're here for you to be a part of whatever you're doing. And all of you guys out there, just come on and be a part of the Biz Hub. We're getting ready to do some exciting things in the next couple of weeks that we're going to be doing and want you to be a part of it. We appreciate you and have a good evening. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Can you hold on for 1 minute?